So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Winning Team, 1952. I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars. There's the DVD. Check it out. My church friend, Terrence Collins, let me borrow a bunch of Ronald Reagan DVDs. I've got more over here. Desperate Journey and The Hasty Heart. I put all 3 of these Ronald Reagan discs on the top of my list just to throw you off. The next 3 coming down the pike are still the same as my last review from last week, last Saturday. The War of the Worlds, 1953, is number 1. Rapid Fire, 1992, is number 2. And The Hasty Heart is number 3, 1946. I take it back. My list has been updated. Hi there from Germany. Hola. What's Karate Man doing in Germany? It's kind of early for Karate Man to be in the chat room. Different time zone. Must be nighttime over there. All right. So my list has changed. I do have a Ronald Reagan movie on there. I'm in Germany on vacation. I like me some schnitzel. I like me some New Beach hairy armpit lady. All right. It's time to grab a stein and look at nude ladies on the beach with hairy armpits. All right. The Winning Team is a 1952 U.S. biographical film. I love this flick, by the way. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm looking at the movie poster. It's great. It's got the great Doris Day. She's in all the great Rock Hudson films. I love this movie so much. I like it even better than The Pride of the Yankees. When all America called him Alex the Great, they were really throwing kisses to her. Doris Day. Ooh, we love Doris Day on this channel. Too bad she's dead. But she lived to be like 98 or something. The Winning Team is a 1952 U.S. biographical film starring Ronald Reagan and Doris Day and directed by Louis Seiler. It is a fictionalized biography of the life of Major League pitcher Grover Cleveland Alexander. Yeah, this one is not historically accurate. Makes no mention that Amy Alexander filed divorce and remarried twice due to bad drinking habits of Grover Cleveland Alexander, her husband. And the film incorrectly blames World War I shell shock for seizures during the ball game, when it was actually epilepsy that Grover Cleveland Alexander was suffering from. And it also seems to imply that his career was on the downslope after World War I. That's just not true. He was a great pitcher throughout. He was pretty consistent. So those are the 3 main historical inaccuracies. The hot dogs are good. Yeah, I got me some bratwurst at Safeway for $5. I gotta go grab it. Hold on. Hey, check this out. I got the Bratz beer $5 special at Safeway. How's that for a hot dog? All right. Too many angry Germans bumping into each other? Yeah, I'd be angry too if I had to live in that communist hellhole. Before I was also in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Did you get any good prostitutes with hairy armpits? Too many angry bikers there. Oh, sorry to hear that. All right. The winning team includes Alexander's heroic performance in 3 games in the 1926 World Series against the New York Yankees, where the 7th inning strikeout of Tony Lazzari is used as the game-ending series-winning pitch. Another historical inaccuracy. All right. The film earned an estimated $1.7 million at the North American box office in 1952. We've got production company Warner Brothers, distributed by Warner Brothers. Release date June 20th, 1952. Running time 98 minutes. Country United States. Language English. Box office $1.7 million. We don't know the production budget for this. So we don't know if it's a financial flop. But I'm guessing that it was successful. It shouldn't have cost more than $1 million to produce this movie. Grover Cleveland Alexander, Ronald Reagan, is working as a telephone lineman in Elba, Nebraska, while Alex is speaking with his boss. A man comes along and tells him that there is an exhibition baseball game between local farmers and a minor league baseball team. Alex runs straight there. Meanwhile, his fiancée, Amy, the great Doris Day, is talking with her father, who doesn't have the best opinion of Alex because he is more interested in baseball than in farming. He is worried about his daughter's future. The game between the farmers and the team is a betting place. Many come to see this game, and they know that with Alex pitching, they can't lose. Alex strikes out everyone in this game. When he wins the game, he returns home. Amy is at home waiting for Alex. Her father offers to put down a payment on a farm for her. After a small argument, Amy switches to her father's side, and Amy promises that Alex will not play baseball. Alex and Amy attend a church meeting where an invited guest is to show film shots of his recent journey to Norway. After it begins to speak, the noise of a backfiring automobile is heard. The driver opens the door to the church, and the driver announces that he is looking for Alex. He finally sees Alex, and he asks him to come outside with him, where he asks Alex if he can really pitch like he did at the earlier game, or if was it a fluke. Alex learns he is the manager of the team he beat, and Alex throws some pitches to him. Amy is inside listening to the presentation, which is now interrupted by the sound of a ball hitting a glove over and over. Alex is offered $100 a month if he will consider playing for his team. Alex agrees to play, and Alex is shown playing baseball with the new team, the Galesburg Boosters. He regularly sends home a baseball card with his picture along with money so that he can buy the farm for him and his fiancée. Don't listen to the father-in-law. Just go right ahead with your dream job. During one of the games, Alex is struck in the head by a thrown ball while running bases. He wakes up 3 days later in the hospital with Amy and his mother by his side. The injury ends his 1909 season of baseball. During the off-season between 1909 and 1910, Alex now has enough money to buy that farm and to marry Amy. After arriving at the farm, he goes out back and he starts chucking mud balls at the fence. His eyes are out of whack and he sees everything double. He hires a catcher to catch for him, and he is always just a bit off because of his eyesight. In 1910, he returns to baseball after he wakes up one morning and his eyes are perfect again. His record during that year is 29-11, playing for the Syracuse Stars in the Class B New York State League. Then he's sold to the Philadelphia Phillies for $750. The scene turns to what Doris Day is known for, a Christmas at the farm, where the family is gathered around and Amy sings. She had to sneak in one of her doe, a deer, a female deer. All right. The movie returns to baseball. Alex's official Major League Baseball debut is with the Phillies on April 15th, 1911. He throws the 5 innings of no-hit, no-run baseball. During another game, he is facing Roger Hornsby. The catcher passes on a tidbit of info that if Hornsby strikes out, he will be booted off the team. Alex tells the catcher what the next pitches will be, and Hornsby is able to connect with one of them. Yeah, he doesn't believe it at first. He lets the first pitch go right down the middle of the plate, and then he connects on the second pitch. Alex spends most of 1918 in France as a sergeant with a field artillery unit where he is exposed to mustard gas. And a shell that explodes near him causes partial hearing loss as well as epileptic seizures. He also developed a drinking problem. He returns to the States and continues pitching in 1919. He is traded from Philadelphia to Chicago, and he pitches for the Cubs during the 1920 season, where he wins the pitching Triple Crown. While playing a game at Forbes Field, his hearing problem returns in the 6th inning. While on the mound, Alex collapses and his teammates carry him off the field. It turns out to be an epileptic seizure. Alex's doctor tells him that if he wants to live, he should probably go back to farm life. Alex will not hear of that. He tells the doctor that he really does not want his wife, Amy, to know. As Alex is walking down, it's funny because the movie makes no mention of epileptic seizure, but somehow that historical lack of information is on the Wikipedia page, because people actually know what happened in real life. Okay, as Alex is walking down the street, he passes a bar, and the doorman recognizes him. The doorman invites him in for a drink on the house. He becomes totally inebriated. Ronald Reagan is drunk. As he lays his head down on his arm, a customer walks to a telephone booth. He asks for the sports desk. And he tells the person who answers that he knows why Alex fell at the ball game today. He's a lush. The papers are filled with stories of Alex's drinking problem. The scene changes to a baseball game where Alex fields a ball, basically throws it away to the first baseman. He is removed from the game. Okay. So here we get into the dramatic, non-historical event of Grover Cleveland Alexander's career going downhill fast. Drinking seems to have become Alex's new pastime. He is removed from the Cubs, and he's sent to a team playing for the House of David. Bunch of guys in beards. All this time, his wife is trying to find him. She finally finds out that he is a main headliner at a circus, touted as the man who can answer any and all questions about baseball and specifically about pitching. Amy buys a ticket, but when he comes out from the rear of the tent, she hides. He spews out many facts and figures about his own career and then asks if anyone has any questions. Amy leaves without contacting him. When Amy does get in touch with him, she tells him that she knows of his medical conditions. At Amy's request, his old friend Roger Hornsby contacts him, and Roger Hornsby offers him a pitching job with the St. Louis Cardinals. Isn't that nice? Redemption. At the 1926 World Series, the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Yankees are squaring off. Alex pitches the second and the 6 games of the series, and they win both of them. Big surprise. At the conclusion of the 6th game, Alex and Amy have a conversation in the tunnel of the stadium. It's here that she learns that he looks to her for strength while pitching. So if Ronald Reagan has an epileptic seizure on the mound, all he has to do is look at Doris Day, and he can and his eyes aren't blurry anymore. The Cardinals tie up the series at 3-3. It is now the 7th game. Amy is not at the stadium because she is packing for a vacation in Florida that will start as soon as the game is over. Alex is not expected to pitch today at all. They are at Sportsman Park in St. Louis, and in the 7th inning, the pitcher of record has allowed the bases to be loaded. Player manager Roger Hornsby, the second baseman, pulls the pitcher. He's like Pete Rose. He's a player manager. He gets a message to the bullpen for Alex to come out and pitch. When Alex gets to the mound, he looks and he finds that Amy is not there. Amy is ready to call for a taxi when she reads on the ticker tape board across the street that her husband has now been called on to pitch. She has the bellhop at the curb get her a taxi right away so she can get to the stadium. While she is in traffic, Alex is pitching without her as his rock. He pitches out of the inning, and Amy arrives at the stadium before the 9th inning. She sits in her chair, and he sees her. And guess who wins? You can pretty much guess who wins. It's too predictable. All right, Karate Man retracted all his messages. I guess he's done telling me that he's on vacation. He has no interest in the winning team, so I'm going to finish this up real quick. 6.5 out of 10, pretty high rating. For a movie like this, 1,200 ratings, somewhat lamestream 1950s movie. I've got a couple more with Ronald Reagan. This is a must-see for Ronald Reagan fans. The winning team, 1950, 1 hour, 39 minutes. Nebraska farm boy Grover Cleveland Alexander achieves baseball stardom. Before war injuries and alcoholism derail his career, but through his wife's faithful efforts, he gets a chance for a comeback and redemption. We like redemption movies on this channel. Russ Tamblyn is in this movie. He plays Willie Alexander, one of the kids during the Christmas scene. Okay, more like this. By the Light of the Silvery Moon, another Doris Day flick. Then you've got Newt Rockney, All American. On Moonlight Bay, another Doris Day flick. And Life with Father. William Powell. All right, according to TMC, Ronald Reagan had lobbied hard to play the title role in the Stratton Story, 1949, but Warner Brothers didn't want to take a chance on a baseball film, and they passed on the project. After the Stratton Story became a huge hit, the studio picked up the Grover Cleveland Alexander story about another player who made a comeback after being forced from professional baseball. The film ends with the 1926 World Series, and Grover Cleveland Alexander retired from baseball in 1930. Yet he is seen with a number on the back of his jersey, a practice that did not begin until 1931. Because he never wore a number on his uniform, there was no number for teams to retire for this great player. Therefore, the Philadelphia Phillies retired the block-style letter P from their 1915 uniforms to honor Alexander. Quotes Amy Alexander, while Grover is hospitalized having been beaten by baseball. What's the matter? Grover Cleveland Alexander says, nothing. I'm twice as good as I ever was. I'm seeing two of everything. There's a lot of there's a lot of corny jokes like that in this. I love this flick. I love Doris Day. I don't know why I'm such a big fan of her. Maybe because she's just the perfect woman, like Patricia Neal. This is featured in Diamonds on the Silver Screen, 1992. Soundtracks: Take Me Out to the Ball Game, music by Albert von Tilzer, lyrics by Jack Norworth, played during the opening credits and sung by Doris Day. Oh, I've got to put music by Doris Day on here. So I'm getting ready to return something to the dry cleaners that wasn't mine. We'll say music by Doris Day. There. Fix that problem. All right. Well, IMDb has given me fits here. It's telling me to sign in. So I guess I'll watch War of the Worlds. Well, first I'm going to take a little nappy poo. Then I'll watch War of the Worlds and Rapid Fire, 1992. The Hasty Heart, 1946. The Red Light District. Yeah, you see the prostitute in the window with the hairy armpits. Oh, hell yes, I went there, but some were hot, some were not. Let me guess, the ones with the hairy armpits you didn't go for. Most of the Dutch are slightly much more nicer than the Germans, although the Germans can be nice, but they walk all over the place. Well, the German politicians are not nice. We know that. They got that Stoltz guy who wants to blow up Russia and the Middle East too, probably. All right. There's a really good review on here that I want to get to on IMDb. It always pulls up the feature review that's not the one that I want to see. But in case of this movie, I'm going to search for the let's see. Well, okay. Here's the review that I'm looking for. They're giving it a 6 out of 10 for historical inaccuracy, but it's still a great film, even though it's not historically accurate. The person goes by the handle BK B Kogan Bing. October 5th, 2005 is the date of the IMDb review, and the IMDb review title is Alex the Great. In filming the life story of Grover Cleveland Alexander, Warner Brothers made it a story of redemption, when in fact it was a story of tragedy. But 1952 movie audiences wanted their happy endings. That's why the second half of the movie is total nonsense, but it's still entertainment. Grover Cleveland Alexander, 1887 to 1950, was possibly the greatest right-handed pitcher